Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to Gay Solo Travel, and welcome to my walktube along the museum district, as well as through UFT and down Spadina, and maybe Kensington Market if there's time. It's a cold but sunny Sunday afternoon here in Toronto. I'm not sure why my gimbal is being difficult. Let me see if I can adjust it. There we go. Um, and I'm actually meeting a friend for an event at Spadina in Queens. So I figured I would have come downtown early, try to enjoy the day. I'm doing the best that I can to, like most people, beat the winter, try to stay, happy, even if it's not particularly warm. And I'm like, well, let me come downtown, let me walk around, let me show people what is happening in Toronto today. And this is an area of the city that I haven't fully explored. That's the annex, by the way. By the way, down that way over there, that's the annex, but we're not going to go that way. I decided we're actually going to go down this way over here. And since it is pretty cold, I'm going to put on my gloves. This, by the way, here is the ROM. It's undergoing some construction. Oh, cute puppy. Hi, puppy. It's undergoing some construction. Oh, wow. One car just decided to get stuck right in the middle. Sorry, guys. I'm just putting on my gloves right now. This is Bloor Street. The street that we're going down now is like Queen's Park, but from north of Bloor, it's actually Avenue. That's... Oh, I don't know why... Sorry everyone, I don't know why my gimbal is being so weird. It just keeps on stopping for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. But anyways, we've crossed the street and here we are. So we're just going to make our way down right now. That's actually where the, believe it or not, that actually used to be a former Le Chateau, not Le Chateau, sorry, Club Monaco. So yeah, this is the ROM, and as I said before, they are doing some construction. That's the Li Ka-shing, sorry, the Li, oh, sorry if I'm butchering the name. New Crystal Edition. So this is a classical structure over here. It's a classical building, and it was quite controversial when the city decided to build its addition. But people have come to love it. People have grown to love it ever since. So everyone, my gimbal is being really funny right now. It kind of has a mind of its own, and it keeps on tilting to the side, and I'm not exactly sure why that is. Maybe it's because I have my external battery connected to I have the external battery connected to the and I'm using Prism for the first time, so I don't know if this is better or worse. I was suggested that I use it in part in the hopes of fixing some of the mic issues that I've had, but now my gimbal seems to be very... just so you can see what I look like. Hi, this is me. Hello. But now it kind of has a mind of its own, and it keeps on tilting, and it's not being friendly with me. But luckily there's no one watching, so hopefully the kinks will work themselves out. So yeah, so this is the ROM. That is the Hyatt Hotel over there. That is the former Four Seasons, and in fact, that's the new Four Seasons. No, that's not the Four Seasons at the back. Four Seasons has actually moved back over there. That's Yorkville. Very, very rich, very expensive, very ritzy neighborhood. Huh, sharks, fragile. Okay. Hello, joiner. Here's the ROM. And we're making our way down. That's the Gardner Museum. That's a museum of ceramics. Right over there. And again, that's the space of the former Club Monaco. That's the downtown. So that's actually one Bloor Street west. So that's Yonge and Bloor, basically where that condo is. It was the largest condo in the city, and then another one went up, and it's somewhere down on the waterfront over there. This is a view of Bay Street. People are busy at the ROM, enjoying their day. Some construction here. I mean, this is Toronto, so it's always under construction. And now it's interesting just because we're heading into the University of Toronto like territory. So the museum district, I guess I shouldn't call it a museum district. It's basically just the ROM and and the Garden Museum, the Ceramics Museum. But nonetheless, I want to show you the Turkey building. So we're going to go across Harbor. There's the CN Tower off in the distance. Say hello to the CN Tower. You can see it anywhere in the city. And Queen's Park is actually just down. So this is Museum Station. But we're not going to do that. Oh, here's a planetarium. The planetarium. That's a joke for anybody who doesn't know. Why is it doing this? The gimbal really is developing a mind of its own, and I don't know why that is. And at some point I'm just gonna like remove it because it's really not being helpful. It's being crazy. If it's not a mic issue, then it's a gimbal issue. Okay, let's see if I can regain control over my technology. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay.
What would you be saving it for?
So now, as you can see, we're heading into U of T territory where these signs, start. U of T, I think, is like the largest landowner of the city of Toronto. This is the Faculty of Law building over here, as you can see. Faculty of Law, very nice. Again, why is the gimbal doing this? I'm so confused. It just keeps on like stopping. I think Trinity College is that way. Queen's Park, which is the provincial parliament, and that's Queen's Park, but Queen's Park, the building is right behind it, hidden by the trees. And yeah, you can see all of the new builds, all of the new condos along largely Bay Street, but also Yonge Street as well. At one point, Bay Street was kind of like the residential street, but Yonge Street has really taken over recently. But we're gonna make a right, and we're gonna make our way through the U of T campus, because I definitely want to show you the Turkey building. And U of T's campus is beautiful, and U of T's campus is large. It bleeds into and blends into a big part of the downtown core. This is the law building. It's a beautiful building. And I kind of like this 1970s brutalism. I think it actually really works, and it blends in with, the old building. During the summertime, this is a really great park to come to. And for all of the gays who are listening, was back in the day, back in the 70s and 80s, it was also an infamous cruising park, and it actually resulted in a lot of tension between the gay community, the police force. There were a lot of trees were actually torn down. The park was actually altered quite a bit as a result of trying to basically stop gay men from engaging with each other. Not quite Central Park, because as you can see, it's not as big. It's not as big. Let me do a little bit of a zoom. You can see through to the other side. But yeah, the city of Toronto took measures to actually like impede and make it more difficult for gay men to cruise back in the day. I don't know if that happens anymore. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Easy gimbal. Yeah, every couple of minutes it just kind of dies. Gotta do some research about why that's happening. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll just unplug the external battery for now and see if that does anything. Because that may be a part of it. I'm not entirely sure. And I'm just putting my gloves back on. Doing walk tubing during the winter is a challenge, right? You have to keep yourself warm. You have all of your tech stuff. You have your wires. You have this. You have that. And especially when you're encountering like technical issues, when you're not fully set up or, you know, a pro, and they're still like engaging with the learning curve. It's you're taking things off, putting things on. Hello, CN Tower. So hopefully the gimbal holds out. This is Wycliffe College. So the University of Toronto system actually operates on a traditional like college model. So there's like Victoria College, there's Trinity College is actually coming up ahead, and Trinity College is kind of infamous for being snooty. Like even to this day, if you want to go like have lunch in the cafeteria, you are supposed to wear like your robe, like your British style like robe, like an actual robe. Which I think is kind of wild. But that's what you're getting into if you're going to Trinity College. I applied and got in, but I didn't go. I ended up going to Western. It's a beautiful building though, Trinity College. And you know, it's fun. I'm actually walking with my jacket open, which I didn't think I would. And
It's an amalgamation of teachers' ideas, concepts.
this over here is actually known, if I'm not mistaken, this is the Philosopher's Walk. Yeah, this is the Philosopher's Walk. It's a little sort of walk through from Bloor Street. It's a quite little, it's a quite nice little it's almost like an easement. Making our way through. So yes, here we are at Trinity. And then this over here is this is the Laidlaw building. I actually used to come here and study quite a bit. The one back over there. Really great library. In fact, that entire building there is basically the library. That's University College. If I'm not mistaken, that's the name of that college. And if you actually walk through that gate over there, it takes you to like King's Circle, the main sort of like circle and park area of U of T. We might pass by there, but again, I really want to go to Robarts, which is right up ahead, the Turkey Building, because I mean the Turkey Building is the Turkey Building. Like you can't come to Toronto without seeing the Turkey Building. So we're gonna go check that out. More of Trinity College over here. Like the buildings are beautiful. You know, they're Gothic. Usually during the spring and summer, there's people playing sports here. U of T has, the university is like a top 20 university. It has a great great varsity sports teams as well. There it is. You can see remnant. You can see the beginning formations of the Turkey building. And there's the lovely U of T building. Gotta love that U of T building. Sorry, not a U of T. The CN Tower U of T building. We are, as we're slowly approaching it, I'll just let these people pass for a second. I'll give you another little panorama tour. There we are. This building was very controversial when it was built for obvious reasons. I mean, again, well, you can literally it's a turkey. It's a turkey. But people, the city of Toronto's, and yet sometimes the city does these funny, weird things. There's also the OCAD building, which we might actually end up walking by. Well, there it is in all its glory. So this is like the heart and center of the U of T campus. This is St. George and Harbor. So we'll just do like a nice 360 panorama here so you can see what it looks like. The Newman Center, as you can see, like new buildings, old buildings. I mean, obviously it's February, it's a Sunday. It's not quite as bustling as it used to be. Let me give you one more look at the lovely Turkey building, so you can see it in its full glory. Lovely. Do I want to make a left down here, or do I want to walk straight to Spadina? Let's just keep walking down U of T's campus. I actually used to teach at the University of Toronto. I taught queer pop culture here at the Sexual Diversity Studies program, and I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, when COVID hit, I decided not to apply to come back, because that's what happens when you're a contract faculty. I was working my full-time job, I was teaching, and the full-time job, because I worked in HR, was keeping me very busy, just trying to figure out, what we were going to do with COVID and what our next steps were. And, COVID was difficult. COVID was messy for everybody, but, HR in particular kind of had to figure out literally how to manage people and manage illness and leaves and all of that. So it's a challenging time, and yeah, decided not to return.